Thank you so much for joining me as we celebrate 65 years of REITs.
Thank you. Thanks for asking me to join you. It's an honor.
So, Connie, at the 50th anniversary of REITs, you highlighted the industry's access to capital as something that has significantly impacted how real estate was viewed. Is access to capital as important now for the industry as it was then?
It is. We used to always say capital is our oxygen, right? When you think about the REIT industry and obviously our inability to retain a lot of capital because we're paying out dividends, which is one of the unique things about the REIT industry. Capital and having an understanding of the capital markets is extremely important. And it's, coming out of the GFC, which, 15 years ago, we were just coming out of it, right? And so a lot of companies were thinking about their capital stack and how they manage their balance sheets and capital flexibility. And so, yeah, it's just as important today as it ever was.
And you were Nareit chair in mid-2009 amid the challenges of the GFC. What would you say was the impact of the crisis on how REITs operate today?
Well, following on my last comment, I think we've all gotten smarter about thinking about our balance sheets and our capital stack. I remember having a conversation with a very prominent CEO, and he said, who knew we needed to worry about our debt ladder? Because it just wasn't top of mind before the GFC. And so it's really about access to capital, access to multiple sources of capital, and really focusing on that balance sheet that allows you complete flexibility no matter what the economic cycle is. And I think we all learned that lesson the hard way in 2007, 8, and 9.
And another of your observations from the 50th anniversary has to do with the growth of the REIT industry. Has the rate of growth and the evolution of the industry surprised you at all?
No, I think as an industry, we've continued to adapt and evolve. I am a little bit surprised that there's not more consolidation, particularly in some of the sectors that, we obviously started off with lots of different companies and we've had consolidation, but I'm still surprised that there's not more consolidation. There's always the social issues that are part of any consolidation. But the industry and just, when I started with REITs, there were office buildings, shopping centers, and industrial wasn't even a REIT. Multifamily was kind of a big deal. It was like people weren't sure they wanted, oh, I don't know, should we be doing, multifamily? And so the number of sectors and the opportunities for people to have their own portfolio of REITs. As a retired person now, that's what I have. I have a portfolio of REITs. I live off the dividends, and I can invest in different cycles, different markets, different property types, and so I'm not surprised at all. I'm surprised at some of the different types of REITs that never were contemplated in 1960 or even when I started 48 years ago. So.
And looking ahead, what are you most optimistic about as REITs navigate everything from rapid technological change, shifting demographics, and other macro trends?
I think REITs have an amazing opportunity to continue to evolve. We all should be very optimistic. I think the technological changes and REITs' ability to be resilient. When I think about it, I've had the opportunity to experience this over the last 48 years when I started with REITs, and they were very different in 1977, very different in 1960. But we continue to evolve, and I think that that's probably what I'm most optimistic about is as we look at the changing dynamics, and today we're in an environment where it seems like things are changing daily, if not hourly, and so it's how do you evolve, how do you plan, how do you think about it, and how do you adapt all these new technologies to enhance your own operations, enhance your connections with your, whether it's your tenants or your residents, any of your customers. REITs are well positioned to do all of that. And I think the current leadership at REITs are very active in all of those aspects of running their business. And I think it just continues to give me a lot of hope, I think.
And do you have any advice for the next generation of REIT professionals who are looking to make their mark in what has now become a fairly mature industry?
Yes, we're 65 now, right? Um, yeah, I would say develop a strategic mindset, and understand certainly the market dynamics that you're in. Capital market, you have to like I said at the very beginning, capital is our oxygen. You must understand your source of capital, and you need to serve your capital. And so I think understanding that and having a broad understanding of both national dynamics, economics, politics issues, as well as international, because there are a lot of REITs obviously that are investing internationally. I did not have the opportunity to do that, but I certainly know a lot that have. And I think you just have to understand how you're going to play in those markets and some of the issues that come up. And then for those leaders, really, cultivate your leadership skills through, understanding the capital markets, not being afraid of having an operational rotation. A lot of people want to deal with the finance and all the exciting part of, particularly with REITs, the capital markets and doing all of that, but understanding your property types, understanding what makes the real estate tick, having that operational focus can be very helpful no matter where you think your long-term objectives are. And then be prepared to be adaptive. Things change, and stay curious. Just stay curious, because I think about, all the things that we're thinking about today with ChatGPT and AI, and it's like, okay, how can I adapt that, use that to the benefit of the company and our shareholders? So I think staying curious, because I think the next 65 years will likely be as exciting and fast-paced as the last 65 years. So I think it's a great time to enter this industry.
Great. And Connie, before I let you go, any message for the industry? You've been a great supporter of Nareit over the years, so we appreciate that.
Well, I just want to congratulate Nareit for 65 amazing years. I think what we thought of the industry in 1960 and what we think of it here in 2025 is very different. We've come a long way, and we are mature, and it's a great testament to all of the people and all the leadership that have been involved with Nareit for all these years. So proud to be a part of it.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.